Hi, Sarah here from Greystones Presbyterian, and Gary's just asked me to do the little thought for today's slot, um, particularly around the structure of three things to give thanks to God for, two things that I'm looking forward to when the lockdown restrictions are eased, and one thing that I've learnt about God. So I'm just going to start with the three things to give thanks for. The Bible does caution us to be able to give thanks in all circumstances, and I'm very aware that at the moment I have a lot of things to give thanks for. So here goes. One is you, my church family. Very grateful for the people I've been meeting in Greystones, who live all over this area in Ireland. You've all been very supportive of me. It's great at this time when we're all isolated at home to know that you're part of a wider group of people that become like your family. I'm English, living here in Ireland, and I don't have any close family. I don't have any family at all here in this country. So my church family have just become very much the substitute for my blood family. And I'm extremely grateful to God for the friendships that I've built up there. So yeah, and praise to God for that as well, that, you know, when we become believers, we become part of something bigger than just ourselves. And, you know, let us all continue to be those who try to support one another, whatever the circumstances are that are going on for each of us at the moment. The second thing that I want to give thanks for is just, I guess, the timing of it. I wholeheartedly believe that God doesn't necessarily plan these things, but he knows that they're going to happen. And the Bible does tell us that he works all things together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purposes. And God has just worked a lot of things out for me in my life at the moment. Some of you know that I've had quite serious health issues over the last year. That's still ongoing. Issues that led to heart surgery and now issues with my lungs. And yet I have a lot that I'm genuinely very thankful for in the middle of that. One is that I've had my surgery, and one is that despite complications immediately afterwards, everything is now ticking along fine, as it should. And with regards the lung problems, very grateful, again, timing, that I got a diagnosis before the lockdown happened, and that I'm on a new treatment regime, and I'm being well followed up by the medical team. So I feel like I have a lot to give thanks for that. I'm very aware of some people who are still waiting for appointments and they don't know what's wrong with them, and other people who are still waiting for the same surgery that I had. So, you know, I'm trusting that for those people, God is meeting them in their place of need, and they're able to find other things to be grateful for. They may even be grateful that the surgery hasn't happened yet. But I'm just very grateful it's over and I'm fully recovered, and that I've had things like the rehab programme that's meant I've got confidence again in what I can and can't do in terms of my fitness and health. So yeah, just a lot to be grateful for. Also very grateful for technology, that we didn't have this 20 years ago, before any of us, you know, before having access to things like tablets and computers and smartphones, before any of that was commonplace, because, as I said, I have family scattered around the rest of the world, and this has just meant I can keep in touch, and even these days when we can't see somebody that lives 5 miles away, we can keep in touch. And seeing people, even on a screen, is just really encouraging. And yeah, if we lived in the time before screens, and certainly before mobile phones or anything, I think this would feel very different for a lot of people. and I think it's challenging us all to learn new ways of doing things, which who knows how that's going to develop for good things coming in the future. I work at Irish Bible Institute, for instance, and it's forced us to go far more online than we had done before, and we might find that it means that the ministry we seek to share with people can reach much further afield because of this. So really an awareness that God is at work behind the scenes is just another thing I'm very, very grateful for. Two things I'm looking forward to when either restrictions start easing or when we get a vaccine, whenever that might be, because of my own health circumstances. One thing I'm looking forward to, a hug. We all have a few friends that we can go to when we're feeling down and just ask them for that bit of physical support and comfort. And obviously people like me are shut off from them at the moment. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to sometime down the line. And then another thing is just generally the world getting a bit bigger again than the 2 or 5 kilometres around where I live. So just being able to drive, I live in Wicklow, and you can tell from these pictures behind me, I love mountains wherever it is in the world, whether it's Africa or in England. Being able to just drive up into the Wicklow Mountains would be lovely. So hopefully only a few more weeks and I might be able to do that, even if I can't really get out and do anything at the other end because I'm supposed to be cocooning. But yeah, so they're the two things I'm really looking forward to when things open up again. And one thing that I've learnt about God, I've alluded to it already, is just that sense of trusting him in the middle of things. The way that he works in the world, he's got bigger plans and purposes than just your life or my life. He sees our individual lives. He knows every hair on our head, the Bible says. But he's doing something far bigger than just 1 or 2 people. And he just asks us to trust him in the middle of our circumstances, to trust that he is working in our lives and he is working to make his purposes known, and that they're good purposes. Ultimately, they're good purposes, and he's at work for good behind the scenes. And a lot of it we may not recognise until we meet him face to face. So that was a journey he started to teach me, particularly last year when I got ill. And I'm very grateful that he started me on the journey then. But it's something I'm very keenly aware of at the moment. So yeah, just God is still in control and he's still working things out, and it's for good. He's a good and gracious God. It's not for wrath or punishment. So yeah, I hope you have a blessed afternoon, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you to the team at Greystones for putting these different posts up. God bless you. Bye.